Good morning. Have you ever wanted to go viral? Have you ever wanted to get your business hyped up on the internet without having to spend so much money? Well, you're in luck. Today, that is the topic of our discussion. We're going to go over the nitty-gritty of how to go viral on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram without having to spend a penny. But before we go there, let me tell you why I am sharing this and why I know about this. For years, for almost 15 years, I have been running and I do own a SEO company as well as a social media company based and registered in the United States. I refer to Midas Web Engineers as well as Spectrum Social. And in the span of 15 years, I have also established over 5 very large forums on the internet based on Ph.D as well as vBulletin. You might have heard of some of these, and many of them start with the names Black Hat. About half of them no longer exist because I had sold several of these assets to other individuals. So over 15 years, I've honed the specific techniques that we have helped our clients to rank, not just their websites, but also to grow their social accounts. And I'm pleased to say that we have also helped several individuals go from zero to influencer level. Today, you will learn these tactics and you will learn how to get your business or your profile strong on the internet without having to spend a single cent. Let's dive into the brass tacks of the technique. First of all, you have to understand what is your objective. Why do you want to create social virality on the web? Is it because you want your business to convert to sales? You want to create a favorable impression as to the mission of your business and not really drive sales? Or is it simply because you want to get a word out before a big product launch? Some of you might be musicians, some of you might be lawyers or architects and engineers, and you need a base of operations to establish your credibility. That is another objective. Once you understand this objective, that is when you can move on to creating the platform that will be best suited for your objectives. Okay, once you have that down, the next step is to create your profile. And this is important. Whether it is on Instagram, on Facebook, or on Twitter, you want to create a profile that would highlight what you have to offer, who you are, your credibility, as well as your past accomplishments. If you don't have this, and individuals have a 7-second lifespan, the moment they land on your profile, they look around, they don't see anything that resonates with them, they will leave. So create that on Twitter, it is about 120 characters. Create that profile which would encapsulate who you are, what you can do for the market, and why they should stay and to subscribe. I recommend making your profile funny or startling. This is something that reaches out and grabs individuals. We have helped companies that have started from zero and they have gone all the way up to 100,000 subscribers based on this technique. Second, and this applies to Instagram, if you have different accomplishments and highlights, I recommend that you create those highlight buttons at the bottom of your profile where your bio is written that will encapsulate the key messages that you want your visitors to appreciate. This you should spend at least a day or two on and understanding exactly what your audience should be looking at when they arrive at your page. If this is not compelling, if it is half-baked, then all the social marketing, even a boost post, will be a waste of money because then people will not stay. Now, assuming that you are a public figure, an architect, a lawyer, a politician, and you're creating your profile and your bio, and it's already good. You're talking about your social advocacy. You're talking about the accomplishments that you plan to push to the general public over the next few years. When you create that platform and you start to populate it with content and posts, the last item that you would want to put in your profile would be a series of selfies. People don't like looking at selfies. If all you had were photos of your face, photos of you standing in front of buildings and in front of malls, that's not something that people would like to share. You want to create items, photos, collateral assets, which would be shareable. People would like to bookmark that and to refer to that later on. So assuming that you're an architect and you have a vision on sustainable development for the future, don't post photos of yourself in your three-piece suit. That will not compel people to stay. Rather, you want to post, say, tips, techniques, tricks, your projects which had utilized technologies that are not yet mainstream. You can also post how-to videos. This works very, very well. People will save that. Now, most of you don't realize this, but Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook had undergone a lot of changes over the past few months. Likes, which most influencers like to hype up on their profile, don't anymore rank that well in terms of a driver for popularity. Meaning that you can have 10,000 likes on a post that you put up, but that will not really get you onto the explore page, the home page, or the news feed. What you want to focus on is that hidden button, the save page, the bookmark page. If 500 people bookmark your photo or your video, that will have a great deal on the impact of your photo or video landing on the home page or on the explore page than getting 10,000 likes on that photo or video. Think about that. You need to create content which is shareable, which is something that people would put on their stories, on the feeds, or which they will share via private message to another individual. Likes are at the very bottom. And ultimately, you will realize this, and this has rolled out in the United States and some areas in Europe. Likes will be hidden from Instagram. No longer can we, the public, see that. What will impact your ranking and your virality will be the comments that are appearing on your photos and videos, as well as the shares and the direct messages that your audience is doing on your content in real time. Take note of this again. People like how-to videos. People like information that they can use. People enjoy referencing information that they can share. Quit with the selfies. Create shareable content. Now, once that is done, you're already solid. You know how to start creating the content that will drive virality in the future and that will sustain your fan base. But the problem is this. What if you have 0 fans? What if you have 0 subscribers on YouTube, on Instagram, and then on Facebook? How do you get from 0 to 10,000? Today, I will share with you 2 techniques that have worked for a very long time, about 10 years, and which still works today, and which several of the top ranking influencers still use in order to get those subscribers. The first, let's call it the top comment technique. What you want to do is, with your fan base of 0 and your profile of 0, you want to start looking for other accounts that have over 10,000 to 100,000 followers. These are the accounts which are related to your niche. So for instance, if you are a fitness instructor and you wanted to go viral, look for other gym instructors or companies which have a very large following. Chances are the market that will subscribe to your content can be found there. What you do is on Instagram, you follow them and then you tick that notification bell at the top of their profile that will alert you when they release a new content. You can also do the same for YouTube. Subscribe to the channels which have 15 to 100,000 followers and which have a lot of high quality videos, and tick that notification bell. So the moment that new content is released on Instagram, on YouTube, or on Twitter, you will be notified. You want to be the very first to visit that video or that photo, and you want to be the very first to leave a meaningful comment. I recommend that the comment be funny, startling, and highly related to what the subject is. Nothing canned. Over time, if you do this, if you're the very first to comment, you will be known as the top commenter, and often that your posts will appear on the very top of that video. People will be looking forward to your comments. People will be curious about who this fellow is, who is adding value to the collateral, and ultimately they might follow you. When they follow you, you have a targeted, high quality individual who will not unfollow you later on. It's important that you set the tone. Make sure that you have a very unique persona when you're leaving your comment. If you're funny from the beginning, be funny all the way down a year later when you're leaving comments on those high profile accounts. And another thing that I would suggest is if you can collaborate with your other friends, say 3 or 4, when you leave a comment, request that they like the comment that you leave, because SEO wise, that will bump up your ranking on the search engines as well as on that profile. Your comment will be pinned on the top, and more individuals who come in later on in the day will see that comment. They would like it, they would reply to it, they would engage with it, and ultimately they will follow you. I kid you not, this is how we grew accounts from 0 to 10,000 in a month and 0 to 100,000 in, well, a few months. You won't be having to go for bots or fake followers, which is rampant on the internet. And well, sadly, that is how many companies have been going down the route these days. But that's not sustainable because you will have to keep on replenishing. This first method with the top comment tactic will ensure that you will have a stable flow of targeted, highly engaged followers. The second method is what I would refer to as the recent hashtag strategy. On Instagram and on Twitter, you would see that there is a section where you can search for hashtags, for trending hashtags. On Instagram specifically, let's say that you are a gym instructor again, and you teach the ketogenic diet aside from HIIT. There are several trending hashtags that are allied with that specific topic. Say ketogenic diet, keto lifestyle. Many of these would have 500 to 20,000 to even a million posts categorized. What you want to do if you want to gain more subscribers and more followers is to research. Look at the hashtags that is performing well. And when you go on Instagram, you would be able to key in the hashtags that you're researching on. And when you type in the hashtags on the explore page, you would have the top posts that are allied with those hashtags, as well as the most recent posts that are also using those hashtags. What you want to do is you go to either one of those categories, and then you leave a meaningful comment on the collateral, the videos, the images that are bucketed under both the recent and the top hashtags. Leave something that is meaningful, funny, startling, and people might just follow you. We have grown several accounts again from 0 to 10,000 in under a month by just focusing on 10 hashtags and leaving comments on the recent as well as the top posts. Now, if you were to focus on the top posts under those hashtags, you might get a lot of residual traffic. The problem is several of these top posts would already have 100 to 500 comments. So your comment might be buried underneath all the earlier comments. So I would recommend that you have your friends like the comment that you leave on those top posts. Now, if you comment on the most recent posts under that hashtag, you have a more fighting chance, because in this case, your post might be the very first to appear and people will be able to engage in that first. It's important that your comment is not canned, that it is highly related to the topic, and that you're genuinely inciting questions as well as engagements. Do both of these tactics for about a month, and you will realize that the commenting strategy on recent releases, as well as the commenting strategy on hashtag trending analysis, would lead to very strong followership. And those people will ultimately like, share, interact, and grow your account with you as they look forward to your content. Keep your content fresh. When you already have 500 followers, make sure that you engage with the people who are commenting on your posts. Don't leave them ignored. Ultimately, people will feel that they are not important. They might leave. You want to keep them with you as you grow forward. Now, there are several other techniques I can share with you in a future video to achieve consistent and reliable virality. However, I'd like you to implement this immediately for your business, for your personal growth. Internet marketing is perhaps the most rewarding endeavor that you can engage in during the pandemic period. As we know, most people are remaining at home. They're not out there looking at videos. They're not out there looking at billboards. They're not out there looking at taxi ads. They're at home glued to their social accounts looking at the latest news. You can get your news, your PR, right in front of these individuals if you pull it off right. This is Joseph Plazo. Thank you for listening. Happy social marketing and good luck for 2021.